Getting into this evening's live. A lot of stuff to talk about Ripple. Actually, we're already in the live, so good evening. 6:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, September 23rd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, with Ripple, we already know a couple days ago they did 100 and something million, another 200 million, so that's 325 million or 350 million XRP moved by Ripple since September 13th. So in 10 days, Ripple, at least between these two transactions, has moved 350 million XRP. And we've got what many could argue, or you can verify, you can validate, or you can ignore. But generally, after a rate cut, you know, I know everybody talks about the post-rate cut pump, which eventually will happen with...
Time doesn't heal.
What's going on here? Which will eventually happen with the quantitative easing sector, or the part of it that comes with this down the road. But generally, right after a rate cut, you get a pretty steep correction in cryptocurrency, and then we have a nice move out. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Says, checking in, I'll be back. Reserved. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Crypto Knight, welcome in. Sam Blankership, welcome in. What's going on, my friend? Greetings from, thanks for tuning in from Malaysia. Man, I got to see that name again. Crypto Knight, thank you for tuning in from Malaysia. How awesome is that? Mark Casson, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. Moza here. UK Phil and George, thank you all three of you for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. With Bitcoin, I pulled out a different chart now. That's why my other chart's not there, because this is a chart we had made up a long time ago with the Bitcoin cup and handle. Did it not save that? I guess not. But anyhow, I'll add that when I'm ready to talk about Bitcoin. Rick, welcome in. Thank you for being a very trusted mod. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Really appreciate that. Lee, good evening. Jorge, welcome in. Marsky, thank you for tuning in from the Philippines. Awesome to see that. Awesome. Thank you so much. So let me just put this Bitcoin chart on. There's a reason why I want to have this one on. Now, this is one that I had on in the past. And now we actually are doing the consolidation, and it would actually signify what I'm talking about. Brandon, welcome in. I'm short the market. I'm expecting a sell-off in all equities. If anybody remembers B2 Gold, I told them... What's going on here? This is started at $3.38 today, and it's it had an interesting day today. It was down 4.14%, and I've been very transparent on B2 Gold that I'm out of my precious metals until I say otherwise when we hit that top. Just after the market, we got the rate cut announcement. Tanya, welcome in, love, and I love seeing that 2-year XRP 589 Moon badge, and we have to look at HBAR as well tonight if we can get there. But that's it. We'll look at B2 Gold and the commodities as well. But as far as Bitcoin goes, it's pretty interesting the spot we're in, and it does speak to the fact that more likely than not, it's not that we're breaking down and the cycle's over. See, that's where we might get a little disagreement here. I don't believe the cycle's over. I just believe with what I'm seeing, and we drew out this cup a long time ago, and look how long ago this was with this little handle. And now this was supposed to be where it held the support, and as long as it held that area, we should break out of here. Now, we didn't know how that handle was going to build, but I think it's pretty clear what's going on here with Bitcoin. Now, if we take this out into the daily, it's been building this for a rather long time. And it's going to continue building it unless it can break out of this resistance. And maybe we can break out in the short term, and we can invalidate my thought process that we might have to, you know, have a bigger drop down here. But it's going to have to do some work for me to invalidate that thought process. And a big part is going to have to be to get past that resistance, because we're still very much creating this handle. And I dare say, like, the more I look at this, would it be too, let's just say, unrealistic, or would it be more realistic for us to expect another hit somewhere around, ooh, maybe it is more unrealistic than I was thinking. Because I was thinking, if it comes up here and gets a let's just say, for argument's sake here with Bitcoin, then we're going to get into XRP and what this means. So let's say for argument's sake, we could get back up to 69K here, right? We get a rejection there. Now, do we think we could that we would come all the way back here? Do we think we'd come all the way back here in that area? That's the question. To me, we're having a nice consolidation. Whew. It's going to be interesting. I feel like we're going to dump, though. Honestly, it makes me feel like we're going to come down to the bottom of the picture. Either way, it makes it feels like that. So I don't know. We'll see exactly when it would break down. But that's basically, not basically, this is what you're in outside of that hand. This is basically the handle consolidation. And there, I mean, you could switch it up a tiny bit, but I did it through the daily time frame. And I think it's warranted to do this through the daily. Like, we hit that wick there. We hit the wick here. So basically, we hit the wick here where it starts, come through, hit the wick here, and then it just plays through. But, I mean, that brings us in a pretty interesting area. This whole thing could get interesting is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's Bitcoin. Now, XRP presents a whole other slew of issues here. Now, on the onset, or where we're looking at from a chart perspective, when you first look at it, it's like, okay, this is fantastic. We're making some noise. We got over the 2018 resistance, which has been 6.5-year downtrending resistance, which is that blue line that's coming down right in front of us. I'm in the weekly, so I'm going to put it in the 4-hourly. But in my opinion, if I was a betting man and I was in Vegas and they said, what do you think's going to happen? If I had to put my money on it, I would say, you know, we did come through. We had a nice consolidation here after a breakout, and for 6.5 years, we couldn't do it. We came back through. We pulled back up. Now, do I think it's more likely that we never come back and retest that 2018 resistance as a real support here without actually pulling through for... Because, let's face it, when the support structure is 54.4 and you pull all the way down to 50, that's okay, and then we came back around. So that's what we have to ask ourselves. Is that the final retest before a massive market breakout, or is it going to end up having a drop out and it's going to come to 52.4, not invalidating this reversal because the wick's way down here at 50.2 and this would only hit somewhere around 52.6, so it would not. I suggest you stop watching that person, Steve Jones. That's all I can say to that. Rick 1, welcome. And yeah, or I already welcomed you, but timing is absolutely everything. So, let's see. The biggest problem I have here is the whole week last week, as some of you know, I was waiting for that retouch at the beginning of the week, it was about 60.7. Now it's at 60.5. Even if bearish, I knew we had to come up there, so that's how I could maintain my bullish optimism, even though it wasn't looking so great. Now, however, I still have a bullish, I'm still feeling like I want it to go up. But I don't know if we're going to get to this 63 or not. I'm losing that optimism, but I still think it's building this upward pattern that in today's terms is up, and that's the rising channel resistance. Now, if we get up there, it would be interesting because let's just say we break over this first yellow line, and I'll show you the bigger picture after, but that is the falling channel and cup and handle support. This is the rising channel first layer resistance because that used to be the support of the rising channel. So now you got to get over that, and that opens up the door if you can get over that. But for now, it'd be interesting if we could push up and then get rejected. Maybe then we could start forming some kind of wedge within. I like these inside out wedges once you get into an area like that, but you would have to get there first. Otherwise, if you don't get there, you really do run the risk of, I don't really want to go over how many times we've been rejected at this area, but it's not beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, and every single time, it's not a nice retracement. It's not a nice retracement. So the first time we got rejected here, we came down 33%. The second time we got rejected here, we came down 20%. The third time, is it a rejection, or do we start pushing up to that rising channel resistance? Now let's pull this out so everybody can see if you're new. Then we might be able to come out to that rising channel resistance. But we would have to get within. So that's I mean, that's the way to look at it. And there's no reason to speculate outside of it. These are the patterns that have been formed. We can't help it. We don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. You don't make the rules. And these are the numbers that 59 cents on the short-term consolidation, that could give us the spark. And technically it should push us up to that top-end resistance. And that is speaking to the fact, if we do break past here, that we should come up to that area like we see in the rising channel resistance. It's just if we get rejected here, it could all stop. Like, you shouldn't be bearish, but you should be eye-open, you know, what's going to happen. What about this? I mean, you can put the trend support wherever you want. You're taking it from September 6th. I mean, I've got it from September 13th. I mean, you could do the trend support. I actually like what you're saying, because if you do the, you know what? I like what you're saying, because your trend support is going to bring us into an area. So we came down from a wick here, but like if it's me, I'm not taking it from right here. I'm taking it from right here, and then I'm going to come through like this. So if we take it from your trend support, that would bring us, we all know that's 15. Let's put this here for a sec. That would bring us to 54.7. Wait a minute. That's, hold on. I just want to make sure that's right. That's a nice in between. I've been looking for the possibility, and it's on a different chart, but that would make sense if we're not going back to the 2018 resistance as support. The only other reason I think it makes sense to come, and I talked about this a long time ago, well, not a few weeks ago. For any of you who are in here, I don't know if anybody will actually validate it, but do you remember when we talked about the fact that if it doesn't hold this, that kind of a consolidation, that really what we're building, inverse head, and maybe it needs to come down here for the right shoulder. Does anybody remember when we talked about that? That instead of having a rate cut pump, it'd be a sell the news and it was a sell the rumor and news event, which was weird, because then you'd only have the momentary push up as it went into the rate cut, which is actually what started happening, especially with commodities. We made a lot of money on B2 Gold and First Majestic. You know, and I just simply said, if I eat it, I'll eat it. I think, though, once it does, if this is a consolidation, if we do have a consolidation, we're going to rip. The best case scenario that we could come up with is if it did that inverse looking pattern. If we came down and did that, and we bounced off the 2018 resistance and now support, truly support, this thing would blow the shit off of us. I mean, we would literally, it would be better than 2021. Remember in 21, if anybody was in there, when we all of a sudden we went from 52 cents and in 6 or 7 days we're at $1.09. This ultimately would be much bigger payout if this is when it goes. Like, honestly, we just need something that would justify it. Oh, we'll get into BlackRock. It's just, I'm staying in line here. I'm doing it orderly, and I'm just going to stay from one chart to the next. I'm not going to bounce around as much, because that's what I want to do. So I'm trying to do things a tiny bit different here. Al, welcome. Take it from the, or not welcome, but take it from the wick to current price. It's about to blow. Yeah, oh, it sure is. It sure is. Steve, you're not wrong about that, my friend. You are not wrong about that. You are not wrong about that. Let's see. Kryptonian, welcome in. Thanks for reading Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. He says Velo said hello today. Velo. Oh, it sure did say hello. So we had a nice consolidation, but Velo came through. Velo came back down. It never made the little V, but what it did was did a descending consolidation. Now for Velo, you just have to remember, for Velo for you to understand, and I'm going to go right back, but just make sure it breaks that resistance level before you get too excited. A lot of times we get these overzealous movements. Zenda, that's why I canceled my membership, because you... Thanks, Zenda. I always say hi to everybody. I've said hi to you a million times. If I missed your name just now, I was going through everybody's name. But that's pretty disrespectful, but that's okay. I mean, it's no surprise to what most people are saying. That's fine. The Gatman says, my staking ended today for XRP Healthcare. Thank you for letting me know yours ended, the Gatman, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Am I surprised to get comments like that? No. After what happened to me over the weekend, nothing will surprise me. You know, a little piece of me died with what I can do for the community over the weekend. So there's only so much that I even care about anymore. So Zenda, I mean, congratulations. Let's see. But XRP is definitely set up. If we can push past this resistance, I still think there is a shot that we don't have to retrace as much, because there is a little, what we could say is a small possible formation here, but we would have to push towards the short-term consolidation. It's just that simple. So that's a big part of what I'm watching there with XRP. Now, there are a few other things we can talk about. There's a few other things we can talk about. Let's see. So, I just responded to you, Zenda. You said you canceled your membership over me not saying hi to you. So now you're trying to bring up stuff from 3 years ago, which, yeah, you're right. And I probably should do it again to the audience for doing what they did to me. You're lucky that I'm more mature than you are today. You know, you proved to me right now exactly who you are. So Ripple moves 200 million XRP as speculations mount over U.S. SEC's lawsuit appeal. So Ripple moves 200 million XRP worth 117 million amid speculations of U.S. SEC's last-minute appeal. An ongoing lawsuit sparking debates over potential on XRP price. So Ripple has recently transferred 200 million XRP, sparking discussions in the crypto community. The latest transfer by the blockchain firm, valued at around 117 million, comes amid growing speculations over a potential last-minute U.S. SEC appeal in the XRP case. Besides, it has also sparked debates over the potential impact of the transfer on the XRP price. Ripple moves 200 million XRP, sparking speculations. According to the leading on-chain transaction tracking platform, Whale Alert, Ripple shifted 200 million XRP. The transfer, worth about 117.61 million, was made to an unknown wallet, identified by the address RP4X2 SKXV3. It's worth noting that the blockchain firm has made similar hefty transfers to this same wallet previously, which has further sparked discussion. According to XRP Scan Report, the leading blockchain company has moved 150 million XRP previously on September 13th. Meanwhile, looking at the recent transfers of the wallet, many have speculated the wallet to be linked with the firm. However, the actual reason behind the transfer remains unknown, which has triggered debates in the crypto community. That's pretty interesting, because if you add those up, that's 350 million XRP moved by Ripple in the last 10 days, just by those two transfers. And also we know that Chris Larson moved 50 million XRP, but we debate that could be for the political representation that, or the support for Kamala Harris. But as I've stated before, don't get too emotional over that, because whether somebody's a supporter of Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, it's none of your business. And you shouldn't disrespect them over it. You could look at them a little different despite not knowing the central banks rule the world, but that's on both parties. But literally, XRP's or Ripple's greasing the wheels on both candidates. So no matter who's in, they're going to have the support from both because they're giving donations. Chris Larson donates to Kamala Harris. Some of the other ones donate to Trump. You grease the wheels. You make sure it goes round. That's just smart business practices. I've never heard of a big company like Ripple not grease both sides. So what are you going to put all your eggs in one basket? What if it goes the other way? Then you're screwed. So think outside the box and don't be so closed-minded. Especially if you're going to attack somebody over affiliation. That's sensitivity issues. That's no different than like race baiters and things like that. You don't want to go down that road. In addition, the timing of the transfer is also crucial. It comes amid mounting speculations over a potential last-minute appeal by the U.S. SEC in the XRP case. Besides, Ripple has also received a stay order from the court to hold its $125 million penalty to the SEC recently. So the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has been one of the hottest topics in the crypto town over the years. However, the legal battle concluded last month, with Judge Therese ordering the blockchain firm to pay $125 million in penalty to the agency, down from the SEC's initial demand of $2 billion. Many in the crypto community see this judgment as a potential win for the firm. However, speculations mount over a potential U.S. SEC appeal in the XRP case. According to ex-SEC lawyer Mark Fagel and James Farrell, the agency is highly likely to file an appeal in the XRP lawsuit. As the agency still has 2 more weeks to file an appeal, the discussions are soaring over a potential appeal by the agency. Meanwhile, amid this, XRP price traded near the flat line at 58.75 cents, with its trading volume soaring 23% to 1.05 billion. Notably, the crypto has touched a 24-hour high of 0.5952. Furthermore, CoinGlass data showed that the XRP futures open interest soared 2.3%, indicating a growth market sentiment towards the crypto. That's it. I thought that was a pretty well-written article. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index right now, since we're on this page, we might as well take a look. It is relevant. Let's see. 50. Yesterday was 52. Last week was 39. Fear, as we know, back in end of July, we had extreme greed when we hit 74. And we've fallen as low as about, 14 or 16 in extreme fear as well here in the not so distant past. So there's been a lot of movement. I know some talked about BlackRock, so we can definitely look at that. And if you're still around, which I won't know because I'm not looking and I can't see the comments at my own behalf, at my own doing. So, but that's my new way going forward if I'm not liking. So, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options approved by us. No, I don't want this. Yeah, this is it right here. So BlackRock Bitcoin ETF demands 12-hour Bitcoin withdrawal. Wait a minute, what is this? BlackRock and ETFs have saved Bitcoin price from the abyss repeatedly, according to Bloomberg senior ETF analyst. So the world's largest asset manager has filed an amendment for its Bitcoin exchange-traded fund ETF following widespread investor concerns over Coinbase's on-chain settlement practices. BlackRock has filed an amendment to require Bitcoin withdrawals within 12 hours from the ETF's custodian. Coinbase, according to a September 16th filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, BlackRock wrote in the filing, subject to confirmation of the foregoing required minimum balance, Coinbase custody shall process a withdrawal of digital assets from the custodial account to a public blockchain address within 12 hours of obtaining an instruction from client or client's authorized representatives. Interesting. So the amendment to Coinbase. All right. Well, we get the idea of that. Let's see. So I'm just waiting for that to end. That's the laundromat next door. It's the end of their work day, so they always do that right at the end of the work day. Right at the end of the work day. Hey, Kryptonian, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Means a lot to me. Really means a lot to me on Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Honestly, I appreciate your pay it forward mentality. I always have. I always will. I always appreciate everybody who appreciates your time. XRP 60-cent triangle breakout could ignite parabolic rally. Key levels to watch. And these are important articles because that is if we need to break out of this level. That was the whole point in the beginning of my update or the live. Why I spent so much time on that little area. Because it's either we're going to ignite a push here or we're going to have a little bit of a drop through that will end up sparking the later rally. Personally, I'd rather have the drop before the break. And everybody always gets mad, but we've got something big built here. We've got something really big built here. So XRP trades at a pivotal moment after several days of volatile price action, sparking renewed optimism among investors. Some analysts believe that XRP is on the verge of breaking out from a massive 4-year bullish triangle pattern. Which has served as an extended accumulation period. This technical formation has been steadily building up, and now XRP appears poised for a significant expansion phase, following years of underperformance caused by the ongoing SEC lawsuit and broader economic uncertainty. The market is watching closely for a potential breakout. If XRP breaks through its current resistance levels, many expect a parabolic rally, potentially leading to new highs. Let's see. Al, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Because I'm a douchebag, I'm embarrassed, no reason to. I'm not exactly. Well, I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much. But I can't see the comments, but I did go on my phone just to see what was going on, because I was gonna turn them back on my tablet, but I forgot once they turn off, and then I can't turn them back on. Oh. So anyhow, let me continue. Now I gotta do my emotions a little different these days. You know, some of you know what happened over the weekend. And, yeah, you know. Investors eagerly await confirmation of this move, viewing it as a crucial moment in XRP's long-term market trajectory. As momentum builds, XRP's next moves could define its performance in the coming months and its role in the broader crypto market. The entire XRP price action suggests a bullish breakout. The entire crypto market has experienced a surge, with Bitcoin and many altcoins seeing double-digit percentage increases in price. This rally follows the Federal Reserve's recent decision to cut interest rates by 50 basis points, sparking optimism among investors who believe a new crypto bull run is on the horizon. XRP investors also feel optimistic as analysts share promising insights, suggesting positive performance in this cycle. One prominent crypto analyst shared his technical analysis on X, highlighting the bullish triangle, blah, blah, blah. 2020, 200% rise within the breakout. The key level to watch is 60 cents, which has acted as significant resistance in the past. We're not even in a bullish cycle, so I'm not sure if XRP breaks above this critical price point, it could trigger a wave of fear of missing out FOMO, driving substantial demand and pushing prices to new lows. Investors are closely watching this level, anticipating a breakout that could reshape XRP's trajectory for the remainder of the cycle. So XRP is currently trading at 58.7 cents, sitting at a crucial level that could ignite a massive rally for the altcoin after surging 15% early September. The price is testing the weekly 200 moving average at 60.9 cents as resistance. A level that has held XRP down since April. Breaking through this barrier is essential for bulls aiming to extend the rally. XRP has reclaimed the weekly 200 exponential moving average at 52 cents, which is very important because that's right at the 2018 resistance that it is now currently has as support, and that solidifies it if we can hold the weekly 200. It's that simple. A strong demand zone since early July. This level will be key in holding up price if a correction occurs. For XRP to continue up, the price must break the 60-cent level and reclaim the 1 week 200 moving average as support. A clean break above these levels would signal the potential for a larger rally and a shift in market sentiment. However, failure to close above current levels could lead to more sideways consolidation or even a deeper pullback. In that scenario, XRP may retest the weekly 200-day EMA at 52 cents, which could work as a critical support level. That's actually what I want to happen. That's what I was pointing to in my opening. Don't care about hotel crypto. Crypto flows top 321 million. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP stun the market. They always do. I see we have another AI written article here. Crypto flows top 321 million. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP stun market. The performance of digital assets shocked market watchers as different products witnessed. I don't think it did shock the markets because I don't even think 9 out of 10 people watching even knows what a crypto inflow or outflow or anything like what this even means. I think most people that are watching, I'm being honest, are just betting on the price of XRP without any evidence of why they're doing it or any supporting reason why they're doing it besides their favorite YouTuber told them it's going to 10,000. I've concluded my case study over 3.5 years. The evidence is in front of me. Most people that buy XRP don't have a damn clue what's going on, and when somebody starts to talk about what's going on, they just go away. Unless you're watching somebody who's spoon-feeding you $10,000 per token, you have no interest. You know, and that's the problem with the community for the most part. Like, you want to know what you're investing in. That's not XRP, that's the crypto community. Everybody just thinks they're going to get rich real quick, not realizing that 95% of anybody who's ever gone into the crypto market is broke. They may not have entered that way, but they sure as hell left that way. Because they buy the wrong cycle. Because they listen to the wrong person. They believe somebody who... I mean... Would you believe an ape? Some have attributed this surge to the 50 basis point interest rate cut by the U.S. Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. In a chart showing the flows of different assets, Bitcoin topped the list with 284 million to justify its title as the world's leading cryptocurrency. On the other hand, Ethereum recorded a fifth successive week of outflows to approximately 29 million. So, I mean, does it sound good to you that Ethereum's price was going up this week, but the outflows for a fifth straight week, instead of having inflows, they had outflows? Again, you would need to know what an inflow and an outflow is, or even care to know, but it does line up for a certain perspective. Other single-digit performers are multi-asset, whose weekly inflow stood at 54.2 million. This leaves a huge distance to short Bitcoin and Solana with entries of 5.1 million and 3.2 million respectively. Notably, spot Bitcoin ETF products that contributed heavily to the inflows include Fidelity and ARK21 shares, which had 138 million and 102 million respectively. Others include Bitwise ETFs and BlackRock iShares, which had 67 million and 30 million respectively. Grayscale Investments remain in the financial woods with a significant outflow of 65 million. The United States remains in the leading position regarding exchanges with the highest inflows in the past week. Hello, quantitative easing. The U.S. recorded 277 million in inflows, which conveniently enough, that money just happened to appear out of thin air when they told the Federal Reserve to print more money. Coincidentally, the U.S. dollar went down in the same time frame. Could it be because we expanded the money supply and it's become even more worthless? Could be. Could be. Compared to second place Switzerland, 63.4 million. However, exchanges in Germany, Sweden, Canada, and Hong Kong saw outflows of 9.5, 7.8, 2.3, and 1.3 million respectively. They don't have the wool pulled over them so much. Ethereum, the only altcoin with a spot ETF product, registered its fifth successive outflow, largely due to persistent outflows from Grayscale Trust. I mean, it almost sounds like they're setting up retail to be exit liquidity. Bitcoin's going up to 200,000. Ethereum's going up to 20K. You know, XRP is going to be at 20 bucks here before you can even blink. It's almost like they got us set up to have us pound it in. You know, we're like the nail in the coffin. We're literally nailing in our own coffin, it feels like. It also feels like there's a large amount of ETF holders, which are large institutions that are looking to exit. Now, I do ultimately believe we go much higher, but how we get there, my outlook's a little bit different than everybody else's. Meanwhile, Solana has maintained consistency in its inflows. Last week, its total performance stood at 3.2 million. Although 2 asset managers, Van Eck and 21 Shares, have filed for a Solana ETF with the regulatory authority. Notably, experts believe the next U.S. president will likely influence approval. They don't have any influence. While the Ethereum and Cardano registered outflows, XRP stayed green with an inflow of 0.1 million. $100,000 in inflows. However, at the time of writing, the XRP price has dipped by 1.16 million to trade at, 58.67 cents. Market volume was also down by 14.51% to $968,589,368 in the past 24 hours. Hey, thank you, Zerps. I appreciate that. You said I'm spot on. See, I can't get everybody's comments. I can't get everybody's comments because sometimes I'm just not paying attention. It just happens. Can we get to a bloody dollar? I don't know. Alice Pond, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. That's incredible. That's a interesting turnaround. Oh yeah, some of you don't know, I got banned from copy trading because some people complained because we had a... All right, so here's what happened. We were up 294%, and we had a 27, a 6, a $12 loss, and then a $13 gain sprinkled in there. So we were only up, and I preface this by saying, we were only up 248% from our $100 challenge. We had $348. This particular person or entities, more than one, it wasn't just that my account got banned for copy trading. I sent everybody the message through my, and then I deleted it promptly after everybody seen who needed to see. But I shared that on my YouTube for members only of Tom's Army. So, and I'll share that again for members only of Tom's Army, but I'm not going to share it on here publicly. That's not going to happen anymore. You won't even see my portfolio. You won't even know my portfolio exists anymore unless you're part of Tom's Army. As far as from a standpoint of being able to see it and me being so open. Now, commodities are a different story. I'm going to force it down your throat, and you're going to be able to see it. And that's just something I'm going to do. But my account was actually frozen. I woke up Saturday morning, and I could not get into my account, which had several $1,000s in it. It said due to security reasons, my account was frozen. So then contacting my contact, because I am, they consider me a KOL because I'm signed up with a link, and then you guys are signing through it. So anybody who complains or signed up to me, they know who it is. So they identified the persons or persons, and they reinstated my account within a couple hours of me waking up. Now, in the meantime, what was going on my end is my son woke up. He had a fever on Saturday night. When he woke during the day on Saturday, when we woke up Sunday, he threw up. And then we went to the doctor. He had an inner ear infection, so we got that taken care of. He's doing a lot better today. Didn't go to school today. Got an antibiotic. Hasn't thrown up today. He's eating more, but he's got an NG tube, so we feed him through a tube that's in his abdomen. But he's been eating solid foods too today as well. The ones that he does eat. So he's been doing a little better. He should be going to school tomorrow, but that was going on. And then simultaneously, somebody does that. So like, it doesn't honestly bother me. It actually helped me like realize I don't need to do so much. Like, what am I doing? I'm only one person, so my account was reinstated. They suspended my copy trading, which I'll never do again on HOTCOIN. Just there were so many problems anyhow. It's a shame we have to end 247% up. And somebody was actually mad over, imagine that, less than a $40 loss that day, and they were mad. I mean, come on, $40? If you can't take $40, you're in the wrong community. In fact, you're in the wrong game. Cryptocurrency is not for you. It's that simple. So I am no longer allowed to copy trade. They told me it was a 2-week to a month ban. I told them to basically kiss my ass. I'll never copy trade on your platform again. And the only reason I even have your platform is because I like doing it through spot trading. I do. I love their spot trading. The fees are minuscule on HotCoin. The XRP Bitcoin pairing and a lot of the other ecosystems they have are incredible. The leverage trading is, for copy trading, sucked. When I personally do leverage trading, it's no problem. Fees are come and go. It depends how much leverage. And you know what? When you're borrowing margin, you can't bitch about how much they're going to charge you in fees because you're borrowing margin. Go try to borrow margin in everyday life. When you do a 10x trading, you only put 100% or $100 of your money. That means 90% of that fund has been put up by HotCoin or the exchange you're on. There's going to be a fee involved. So that happens. So going forward, BITUNIX, as some of you know, they will have copy trading. It's supposed to be out sometime this month. I find that highly unlikely. I think before the end of the year, I think that's more likely. But that'll only be information that'll be released through Tom's Army. So if you're not a member of Tom's Army, you really are going to miss out a lot going forward. Because there's a lot of stuff you're just not going to be privy to. I'm going to do my updates as normal. I'm going to do my live, but the personal stuff, it's never going to be shared again. So I let myself out there, and I even said eventually it's going to get ruined by somebody, and I knew it. It always has. I've seen copy. Yeah, but for the USA, I can't do it. In the USA, it won't let me do it yet for some reason. They said that it's going to be integrated. What if I 125x on $250 short with Bitcoin? That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. I mean, it's very dangerous because 125x doesn't need to move more than a few $100s for Bitcoin. So, but I've been watching the exchanges too while I've been doing the copy trading. And just because I don't normally leverage trade at the validity I was when I was doing the copy trading, I've seen the game that goes on. I've seen what goes on. It's not pretty. So anyhow, that's all I want to talk about. That I've already said too much. I've already given too much time to that. So yeah, that's good for that. Anything else that I need to see? This is something actually. This is something that we've talked about, but you know, it's a continuing trend, but nothing ever happens with it, it seems, as of now. So XRP, the 7th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, recently formed a golden cross on its short-term charts. Oh, and also, if you are watching, if you're a member of Tom's Army, don't forget, you get my content a half an hour early. Regardless, now, even when the beta's done, I'm going to do it anyhow. Half hour, members of Tom's Army, you get the content first. The reason why I'm doing that above all, one, you don't have to watch ads for any of my updates then, and once it's put out in a half hour after that, it's going to have fully updates, or the full ad from YouTube. Secondly, you won't have to deal with the douchebags in the general community that always like to mess up my comments. So you'll, for 30 minutes, be able to talk to just the members of Tom's Army. So I think that's a very nice thing. A golden cross occurs when a short-term moving average, usually the 50-period moving average, crosses above a long-term moving average, often the 200-period moving average. In the case of XRP, the golden cross has emerged on the 4-hour chart, which means that the shorter-term move... So going forward, the bottom line is you're going to see more dedicated... I was against this until this weekend. You'll see more dedicated content for the members of Tom's Army. It's going to end up turning into more of a VIP service over the long term when it comes to certain things. Not the regular contents and stuff like that, but there are other things that you're accustomed to seeing me do just for the good of it, because I just do it, that you won't see anymore. And you'll notice it. It'll be very noticeable over the next few days. This crossover is generally interpreted as a bullish signal, suggesting that momentum is shifting in favor of buyers and that a price increase could be on the horizon. The XRP price trended higher in the past week as the markets broadly rallied following a jumbo Fed rate cut. What's next for XRP's price? XRP began to rise after rebounding sharply from the lows of 50 cents on September 6th. Although the rise was punctuated by minor dips, XRP remained in an upward trend, reaching a high of 61.2 cents on September 21st before declining. At the time of writing, XRP was down 1.18% in the last 24 hours to 58.7 cents. As it stands, the 61 to 66 cent range has acted as a psychological barrier in recent months, and a successful breach of this level could trigger additional buying pressure, driving the price higher. Traders are also eyeing the 74.8 cent mark as a critical barrier. I don't really see that level as it's a barrier, but 88 cents to me is a much bigger barrier. If XRP can gather enough momentum to break past this key resistance, A significant price surge may follow, potentially taking the seventh largest digital asset to new yearly highs. With the Golden Cross, it is a bullish signal. It is essential to consider other factors such as overall market sentiment and broader economic trends that might significantly impact XRP's price. So there's a lot of reading that was there because I want you to focus in on the time we're in. Because it's either we push past these areas in a swift motion, or as you've been reading, this could come down very quickly and retest some of these lower boundaries. Now, I don't necessarily think 41.9 is what we're talking about here. I really believe that if we do something, it would be like this. Let me get rid of this in between. Let me get rid of this 57 point. No, I don't want to get rid of any of it. Nope. I'm keeping it. My chart keeping it. Let's have to read between it. So, I still think it makes sense if it wants to come down to that inverse head and shoulders. I'm not getting off of that until it breaks out. If it breaks out, then we can start pushing up. But I still have in the back of my head it can come down to 52.6. Maybe it comes down to 55 cents. As who was it? Al? Was it Al who said this earlier? It might have been somebody else. He talked about the September 8th uptrend. And that's the 55 cents out in front of you that we put up there. That could be where it ultimately comes. So maybe it's 55. I would feel better if it was 55 instead of 52. Showing another increased, support structure in between. Let's see. I'm liking SUI, to be honest. SUI sounds very nice. And you're a software dev. Interesting. Thanks, Al. I appreciate that. Because that is an area to look, because it very well, that could still finish off that inverse right arm. Because right now, you would suspect that it would have to come down and at least hit this consolidatory zone. It's not often that you would see this inverse right arm come off of this area. Especially if we're going to have an out-and-out continuation all the way to the top. I don't know. It's very tricky right now. That's why there's so much emphasis on this area. And it's like, if it wants to break out, it has every ability to break out here. It's just, for whatever reason, it's almost like it's not ready yet. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Balzac, welcome in. Love that guy. I don't think shit's going to happen until SEC settles and RLUSD comes out. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Faithful Servant says, sell XRP, get Jasmine, not financial advice. Of course not. And definitely not financial advice, but still advice nonetheless. Everybody do your own due diligence. Daniel, thank you for the 3 months plus in Tom's Army with the XRP Meteor. Don't let them change you, brother. You're a good man and great father. God bless. Oh, they're not going to change me. Just going to make me do a lot of things are going to get better, believe it or not. Believe it or not, they're going to get a lot better. Notice I don't get caught up in all the nonsense today. I just turned off the comments for a minute. Well, actually it turned out the whole time. See, now nobody can see it on my laptop or my tablet. That in itself is punishment. That's not something I would have done just 3 days ago. That's one of the differences. Yeah, basically, Steve, that's true. Jasmine is a big component for Japan. It's like their Bitcoin, if you want to put it in layman's terms. That's a big part of how it got the push, in a year or two ago when it had not even just a year or two, but it's been a nice mover. Vincent Ortega, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Unbelievable support from you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. John says down to 55 cents. I could see that. I definitely could see that. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over a year, John, with the I told you so badge. HBAR, we talked about not too shortly ago in the distant past that we were on the verge of a major breakout here. And let's be honest, HBAR did the consolidation already that many others have not. So HBAR very well could be off to a long race. And I remember we had the holy shit moment when it was breaking out here few days ago, not even from here though, when it started rounding the bottom here around 4.9 cents. I remember saying, holy moly. And I remember Tanya saying she bought. I remember telling the audience that I'd bought some. It wasn't like a skyrocketing amount, but that was the only time that I'd invested anything in this in a very long time. I told everybody on a live I never went back into it because I don't care to keep, keep going over it over and over and over until it's relevant, and it's still not relevant. But that's where it's at right now. And I mean, it looked like it was building something big, and it's in a longer term cup and handle, well, short term one at that. But that could very well bring this out. And I remember a lot of people, we could come up to that 7 cent range. Now, short term, probably get nailed to the wall at 6 or 6.2. It'll probably punch us in the face and have to consolidate a little bit. But not to, it's actually looking very, very interesting now. Because we have to eventually come all the way back up to 12.4. That's why the fact that came all the way down and allowed everybody for multi-weeks under 5 cents to buy there. It's interesting. Now, nobody says it can't come back down, but that's a very big breakout here in the weekly already to start this week. So, now we see, does it give it back, or did we go in? Gave a super chat, joined Tom's Army, but forgot to hit the like button. No, see? I always say you can circumvent hitting the like button if you're kind enough to join Tom's Army or send a YouTube super chat. You don't have to. I mean, you should, but you're resolved. But yeah, that's a nice little move from HBAR. I'd like to think some of these are front running the market. I would. I'd like to think XRP can get out of here because I still see a lot of strength here. You know, I would like to think that it can just break out of here, and XRP, before we know it, if you take away all the stuff, we'll be up there at 96. That's what I would like to believe. Then we get into the short-term messes, and then, you know we got some work to do, and I'm okay with that. Some people think these are lines scribbled on a page, and that's excellent. Just need to, brush up on technical analysis a little bit, and then you'll understand more. I don't have a fancy $350 course like some of the gurus that'll teach you how to do a bull flag and a cup and handle, because you can literally Google it. So I don't feel the need to charge you $300 for something you could learn very easily. But if I have to, I will. I mean, I've had people suggest to do it. Maybe I should, just to see if people would rather watch that and pay $100 for something instead of learning over time the way you should, with real experience. But it's come to my attention that a lot of people don't want to put in the work. And they'd rather just read some manifesto, whether it's bullshit or not, and then they can just follow it whether they win or lose and think they're doing something right. Like, that's what I've honestly, it's saddening a little bit, actually. Yes, this is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. No, sirree. This is not financial advice. This is more like I'm showing something out in front of you, and then you can do some fact checking. How'd it go? Okay. I've only got about 7 minutes. Okay. So yeah, that's the gist of XRP. Now, when it comes to commodities, I've been very vocal about B2 Gold. You guys have all been riding it with me at every step of the way. This is not done by a long shot. And remember, I told a lot of people in this very audience, when I bought at $2.60, well, there's just been a lot, but the last time we had $2.63, we rode it all the way up to $3.13, sold it out, bought it back at $2, and I don't know, what was it, 68 or 82? I can't remember which one it was. Then it went all the way back up to, no, it was 263 or something. Went all the way up to 334 and then 342. I sold on the rate cut at $3.38, and I said I was not buying back in, and if it kicked me in the nuts or I took it on the chin, so be it. But I felt like after such a long consolidation, and we can look at this in the weekly because I've got this to the wall now with everything that's happened, this is what it's looking like. It's a move to $5.02, and we've finally broken out of this weekly consolidation. This goes all the way back, and whether anybody's listening or not, that doesn't bother me anymore. I'm speaking my piece here with commodities, and I made so much more on just B2 Gold and First Majestic in the last month than I've made in crypto in the last 6. And it only happened in 2 separate periods. B2 Gold, a matter of, what was it? 8 days. 8 days was like 3,500 this last time around. And First Majestic was over 800 And then the time before that with B2 Gold, it was literally a 3-day. You would have had to hold it for 3 days. 3 days. And that was another couple thousand. So there are ways to make money. And then today we got the dividend payment. And I don't even hold it. Because I held it during the dividend time. So I got a $128 dividend payment. And I don't even hold it today. Which is kind of ironic. So, but I will hold it. Maybe tomorrow. Because I'm not fucking around here. Maybe tomorrow, because the moment it hits $3.12 or $3.13 or $3.50, I'm buying it. If it comes through, so be it. I don't care. So, and then another one that I'm adding, and this is to my self-directed IRA. So if you don't know anything about finance and you do taxes and you don't have an IRA, get a self-directed IRA. You can get it through Charles Schwab anywhere you want. And you can put $7,500 a year through your self-directed IRA, and it's not taxable. So if you make 30 grand this year and you put 7,500 through your self-directed IRA, you can take 7,500 bucks off your bottom line that year. And you can do it each and every year. So you're starting to paint a picture. Every single year I put away $7,500. And this started last year, once I understood more what I needed to do with what I do now. And I started to build a self-directed IRA. This year I've got about 4,000 left that I can put into cap. So now what I'm going to be doing throughout the end of the year, and you don't have to follow, and I honestly, this isn't financial advice, so whether or not you want to follow or not, that I don't even, honestly, it doesn't bother me. That's not why I'm showing this. I'm doing this to say my piece, so that later on, somebody can't just say, this son of a, so to say. So, I'm looking at, and for anybody who's sticking around, I don't know why it's not still on here. I want to make sure that I pull up the right one. It's EMB, and it's an emerging markets fund. And I've talked about it before, but I actually bought some of it today. About $1,300 worth roughly from profits from just the mining sector and stuff like that. And it's an emerging markets fund, so it's not anything that I'm looking to get rich off of. And it's just when I'm going to build $7,500 until I can get the tax write-off. It pays a dividend as well. Pays a dividend. So JP, it's 4.7%, but it's a bond. So this is set up as a bond. It's a USD emerging markets bond. It's an ETF. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, it's 1,100 today I put in. So that's going to be switched over tomorrow, though. And I wanted to make sure, but I'm putting it onto my Charles Schwab's because this is going to be part of my tax deferred for the year. So that's something that I'll talk about more as the year goes on. But that's just an emerging markets. So if you're looking to hedge your money and what's coming up in these times of uncertainty, that's definitely a good way to go. I don't even know why I'm sharing this information, but I am. Because I think all of you have the right to know. I really do. So just pay attention to that emerging funds market. That's EMB. So that's EMB. And the cool thing about doing the ETF and not having to go through different just solo emerging stocks, like from the emerging markets, just solo stocks, is once one of these stocks perform like shit, they kick them out of the emerging market funds. So if something does garbage, and we're buying the ETF here, so if something within the ETF is doing bad, they just kick it out and replace it with something that's doing good. Does it seem ethical? Who knows? But you know what? That's the way it works. So that's under the DXY, or under the Dow, even though it's under the NASDAQ, but I'll put it under there for the emerging market funds. And that's something we'll talk about more. So, but that's it, everybody. That's what I got. Pay attention to your commodities, please. Please. First Majestic, please pay attention to on these consolidations. Because that's a bull flag. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Yeah, we'll probably come down to the 580 range or 560 like we talked about last week. Whatever. But pay attention to it. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I really do appreciate everybody who's tuned in this evening. I did see a donation of $13.99. Rob, thank you so much. That's unbelievably generous. I really appreciate that, Rob. Seriously, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, I trust capital with no... Yes, sir. Lonzo, yes, sir. That's great advice, too, and your friend did a great job. I I trust capital as an IRA for even cryptos. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can say it's a scam. I'm not talking about doing a traditional 401k. I'm just telling you, if you want to be able to write off your taxes, if it's a scam, it's a scam. But let's say you make 50 grand, my friend, and you can write off $7,500 a year in a self-directed IRA. Okay, so you get fleece heisted and shysted and you never see that money. Well, guess what? Every single year off your bottom line, you get to write down $7,500. So, I mean, that's just, if you want to do taxes and you don't want to get it hammered and everybody complains that the rich don't pay taxes, well, now I don't have to pay on $7,500 worth of taxes. Am I getting a tax break? No, I just understand the tax code. That's not the rich not getting taxes. That's the rich being smarter than me and you. Bottom line. So if you want to become smart like the rich, you have to act like the rich. And in this case, you have to do it. You're finding as many ways as possible to not get taxed. Everybody talked about how taxes are unconstitutional. Fight fire with fire. Fight it with your own wisdom. You see, they don't teach you about this in school because they don't want you to fight the tax system. But you can. It's out there. There's several different ways I can do this. It's not even just this way. So use the code. And that's right, Daniel. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's it. I think Steve probably had his fun today too, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, thank you all, and I hope you learned something this evening. If not,